it just makes your job as an actor less stressful.
Hi, my name's Laura M. Beamer. I'm an actor and stunt woman, and I'll be hosting today's segment of Digital Media Insiders entitled Acting in Development. And today's special guest is Dan Watanabe. Hi, Dan. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, if I'm correct, you've been in the industry a pretty long time.
Yes, since way before you were born, in fact.
Oh, really? Okay. And you've been in every stage of development as well.
Yes, I started out as a reader, and by the time I was done, I was a vice president of current programming and development.
Wow, and where was that?
It was at the company that's now known as Fremantle Media, although I made it through 4 different names before I was finally successfusly pried out.
Oh, fun. Okay, so you've been in the business a pretty long time. Now, for people that haven't been in the business, like students and newbies to the industry, what, especially for actors, what are the responsibilities for actors after they've booked the job and all those stages of development?
Okay, actually a development person doesn't really interact a lot with the performer, except in 2 instances. The first instance is when a performer is just about to be cast, and the development person is going to go to the final sessions to make sure that the person's right. You know, they're going to be giving feedback on whether or not this person's an up or a down. And often they'll be at the last callbacks for that. The second, and this is actually the more relevant one, is when an actor is pitching a project to a development exec, and that happens a lot. And I know that for a lot of incoming actors, there's this feeling, well, I'm not really a writer. Do I really want to meet someone in development and all of that? And the answer is absolutely, because as someone in any aspect of the business, to know what every other aspect does is such a vital piece of your own career puzzle.
Right. So it's good for actors to know what's going on behind the scenes in production,
Absolutely.
even if they're not particularly a part of what's going on.
Absolutely, because as an actor, let's say that you're on the set and all of a sudden someone gets pulled out, or all of a sudden for an unknown reason a production gets shut down, and you don't really know what's happening. But if you had any experience in the front office or with development or something like that, you'll go, oh, I know exactly what's happening. This is just a temporary thing. There was probably a contract issue, or there's some product that's on the set that we have to get rid of it, and so you don't panic over it. It just makes your job as an actor less stressful.
So, and being that knowledge is pretty important, do you think that having that knowledge is good for the professionalism of the actor when they're on set? Does it impress the crew or production knowing what's going on?
I think any time that a performer is more relaxed and is able to do a better job giving their performance, or not pulling an attitudinal thing or something like that, is better, because the more calm a set can be, the more happy the front office will be. Because in all honesty, you'll find that the longer that anyone's in the business, that no matter what area you're in, you find that you become siloed. You become like in a little cocoon where you only know that area. The average development person is terrified at the thought of going to visit the set, because they don't know who anyone is, they don't know what everybody is doing, but yet they have to pretend they do. Ditto if they go into post. And in the same way, if you have someone in production going into a front office situation, all they know is these are the ivory tower types who can sign their paycheck. So it's intimidating. And as a performer, you're kind of between all of the worlds. You know that the person in the front office can say, well, we need to cut this person out. And for you, you might be thinking, that's my big scene. Why are you cutting it? And then you'll hear the front office person say something that's going to really break your heart. They're going to say, because you were too good. And you're thinking, that doesn't make sense. But actually it does. Because let's say that you really shine in a scene. And let's say that you overshadow the star. And I hate to say this, but from a development person's point of view, that's a threat to the star. And the star is the reason people are watching the movie or watching the TV show. So if you threaten that person, you might find a lot of your footage ending up on the floor. And I know that's horrible to hear, but please also remember that a development person who has made that call is also going to be looking at you and going, we now have someone that we can build. So you're always, so even when there's career setbacks, or they look like career setbacks, or they look like, wow, that really sucks, there can often be a really good conclusion to what looked initially to be something that was really bad.
So it's important for actors that even if our scene gets cut, or for stunt people, even if our stunt gets cut, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Not bad at all. It's
Okay.
just part of being in the business.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Okay.